And now their opponent for today's game, the home team, Team Manitoba. Can we please have the captains from each team proceed to center field for the coin toss and referees meeting? Ladies and gentlemen, your referees for the game. The officials are head referee Charles Way, umpire is Mark Rempel, down judge is Dwayne Osberg, line judge is Jack Nudie, back judge is Stephen Gray, side judge is Julia Long, field judge Jeremy Corvella. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting for this coin toss, we've had a set of keys for a Toyota vehicle turned in. If you would like to pick up those keys, you can come up to the press booth. Oh, I'm sorry, they're at the front gate. Front gate, Toyota keys. Ladies and gentlemen, prior to the playing of O Canada, we'd like to acknowledge that this event is taking place on Treaty 6 land, home of the Cree, Blackfoot, Dene, Métis, and other proud Indigenous peoples whose presence continues to enrich our land and society. If you're able, please stand, remove your hats for this playing of O Canada.
Good afternoon, football fans. It's day 2, round 2 at the 2023 Football Canada Cup. Consolation side of things, we have the number 6 Manitoba team against the number 7 Nova Scotia team. And with upsets, the daily special, it should be a good one. Welcome inside Foote Field, South Campus, University of Alberta, Treaty 6. I am TJ Phillips alongside former CFLer Rob Harrod. And we were already treated to one upset today. Rob, what do you think the chances are Nova Scotia puts a scare into Manitoba this afternoon?
Well, I think there's a good possibility. I think after watching their first game on Sunday, they've got some potential. They got some great athletes and an ability to move the ball a little bit. I'd like to see some points scored in this one. And I think both teams have the ability to do that. I think coming from the Maritimes, you want to travel out to Edmonton. What other thing would you like to do than upset one of the one of the good teams here from the mainland, or from the center of our country, Manitoba. Again, proud football province. You know, I grew up spent some time in Winnipeg, and they love their Bombers. The Bombers, of course, have had some success over the last few years, and that trickles down. It actually has an impact on minor football. And so 2 great teams out here looking for their first win. Could an upset be in the making? We're going to have to wait and find out.
You betcha. It's another good day for football, about 21 degrees. There's some clouds forming, chance of rain maybe, but we're going to play and get underway. Short kick from Nathan Ginge, fielded at the 50. The ball is loose. Manitoba and Nova Scotia fighting over it right here down in front of us. And Manitoba comes up with it. Little trickery right off the hop, Rob.
I love it. I love the gutsy call. I love the play, and it was executed to perfection. Again, Nova Scotia coming downfield, almost getting a chance at that. And again, you can see here, the ball is loose again on the ground, just not quite enough Nova Scotia guys down near the ground. When that ball popped loose, Manitoba was able to retain possession. So getting the ball outside their 40, ready to go to work on offense.
And it'll be quarterback Cohen Carter in the gold with black pants for Manitoba, going right to left on your screen. Nova Scotia lineman jumped offside, so there's a free play for Carter. He'll knock it down inside the 89 to Owen Fair, and he'll have about 8.
I think we already also had a receiver offside by about 2-3 steps too. I think the count was probably on 2, so they did a good job drawing the defensive lineman, but they also had a receiver offside, so these may offset. We'll see what the officials saw.
So I had my quarterback switched around. It's Cole Ansu who's the quarterback for Manitoba. Cohen Carter's the quarterback for Nova Scotia. My bad. Ansu with the completion. It is offside against Team Manitoba. And that will march them back 5 yards to the 42-yard line.
So one of those things as an offense, you're always thinking about, okay, hey, let's go on 2. Let's catch the defense. And they caught their own receivers. So something the receiver's going to have to fix. They don't want to go in the opposite direction. Let's see if they can get moving on 1st and 15.
Ansu takes the snap, flings it out to the far side. To Kinchin, he's tackled at the 53. Nice gain on first down, and Ansu connects again with a receiver.
So I imagine we're going to see a little bit more through the air with an arm like that. Again, the high school quarterback throwing from the left hash all the way out to the far sideline. That is a long throw for the best of quarterbacks at all levels, and great job of slinging it out there, already going to the air early.
Ansu put the ball up 29 times on Sunday in the losing effort, so he's not afraid to air it out. 2 passing plays from scrimmage to start this one. Ansu rolls to his left, swings a pass out to number 86, Max Payne. He's tackled in the open field by Lucas Ladalip, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and short situation for Manitoba.
So early decision time for Manitoba, facing 3rd and short. It looks like they're switching some personnel. I'm not sure if this is a punt personnel. It looks like a lot of guys going off the field. So interesting decision early on, 3rd and 1 in the opposing end by a yard, deciding to punt this one away. We'll see. If this was me as a head coach, I'd probably be thinking about maybe running a little fake, take a guy out of the box, and we'll see. But I'm sure Nova Scotia is going to be prepared for whatever they have. Again, a punt situation lined up. We'll see what they do.
Well, Nova Scotia already tried a fake, and it is a fake. Right up the gut on the direct snap, and he has a ton of yards, the 1st down. That's number 25, Braden Smith, the up back in that situation. You're right, Rob, you're right again.
Well, it's one thing to know it's coming. Even the coaches I heard from the sideline, watch the fake. You want to force them to kick. Of course, executed to perfection by Manitoba. Biggest play so far in the game. Fake punt down to the 30-yard line.
So Rob Suffren tried the onside kick. Stephen Fettis for Manitoba. The direct snap on the punt. And it's 1-0 on the trickery scorecard for Manitoba. They have a 1st down inside Nova Scotia territory. Ansu, his throw, I think that was deflected at the line by the end. Number 91, Noah Beaton, and it's knocked down. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Well, you got a passing attack with 4 receivers, 3 on the right, 1 on the left, 3 guys going deep from the right-hand side. So the quarterback had no outlet on his side, and so when the pressure came, he was forced to slide in the pocket and just throw it into the turf. I don't think he was getting that off deep with the space that he had. So again, coming out, throwing the ball. It's going to be exciting. We got trick plays, we got an aerial attack, and we got guys moving all over the field. So it's exciting today to see a game of football.
You betcha. Ansu with a throw into traffic. It's tipped and picked. Nova Scotia comes up with an interception, backed up against the red zone. That's number 22, Sam Lecker-Evans. Nova Scotia's ball.
So early on for the first turnover of the game, but that's the risk you have. And again, as you said, we're thrown into traffic, a congested area. If it's caught, it's fine. If it's tipped, there's too many bodies. And you can see here, just off the outstretched arms, again, tipped and DB. And it's the DB actually who's on that outside coming in, was able to corral that, and he's able to stay in position to pick it up. So big turnover early.
Nova Scotia's ball at their own 25, running play off the right tackle, short gain. Nova Scotia going to work on offense for the first time. That's Colin Carter under center. They're in the blue tops with the white pants.
Carter with the forward pass.
So we had a heavy ground attack early in the first game today. We'll see if Nova Scotia, who's starting out on the ground, is going to the air in 2nd and 10. Last game we didn't see a lot of these teams call a lot of passing plays on 2nd and long. They opted to play it safe, but with teams wanting to move the ball and run trick plays, we may see some scoring today.
2nd down for Carter. Takes the snap, flings it out to the far side, juggled and dropped by Logan Walton.
Logan had a great first game of the tournament. He ended up catching a nice long touchdown in the first game and was kind of their go-to receiver. And in a game where they were looking to get some points on the board and stay close in that game, he ended up dropping or it didn't drop, it just off his fingertips, off the outstretched arms of him. But look to see him a fair bit today in their passing attack. I think he'll be a key component and has the ability and speed to get downfield. So we'll see him stretch the defense today as well.
Fisher-Ginge back to punt. Quick 2 and out for Nova Scotia off the turnover. Snap is fumbled by Ginge. He'll get it off. Right foot. Kicks it way down the field. The returner had snuck up. That ball's going to dribble all the way down to the 20. Through his legs. It's loose now on the carpet. Picked up by Nova Scotia. Number 16, Isaiah Booten, and it's a touchdown on special teams, 6-0 Nova Scotia.
Well, we have had a lot of different things in the game already, and we're only at 8:32 left in the first quarter. We saw a bad snap on one end of the punt. The punt returner, as you said, steps up, it goes over his head, and it has trouble picking it up. So huge play on special teams. That took it basically the length of the field. I think he kicked it from his own 10 or 12 yard line. Going the length, and the scoop and score puts them on the board first.
You're one thing after another here.
It just kept going. Ball's bouncing around. He can't pick it up. And tough play for Manitoba. Not obviously happy about the results, but Nova Scotia on the board first with a major just into the beginning of this first quarter.
Fisher-Ginge got the kickoff miraculously. It bobbled the snap, and he booted it over the head of the returner. And loose ball scramble. It's 6 for Nova Scotia. Ginge will put it through for the extra point. It's good. 7-0 Nova Scotia at 8:32 the first quarter.
You got the emotional roller coaster of that play. I was thinking about, as a coach of Nova Scotia, you see the snap, it hits the ground. There's a huge pile of guys, and somehow your punter finds a seam enough to even just kick the ball, which is difficult with so many guys around. And then, of course, the emotion at the other end. Ball goes over his head, it's bouncing around, and you got to scoop and score. So lots of emotions for Nova Scotia, not of the good kind for Manitoba. They're going to have to mentally refocus here and overcome that. They did have a nice drive. Their offense was moving the ball. Unfortunately resulted in a turnover with the interception that eventually went to a punt and a score. But Manitoba's going to have to regroup here, keep their focus, and get their offense going again.
Special teams right back on the field for Manitoba. On this kick return, Nova Scotia up 7. Bonamon is one back. The other, I can't make out that number. It looks like 9. Maybe that's Gabriel Yipin. Ginge will let this one fly right side. Have to come up to get it. That's actually number 3, Rogan Vergata. Pulled down at about the 22. And Cole Hansen will come out for his second crack at the can.
Well, they came out the first time with the short kick, a little bit of surprise. That one, again, a high floater. Call it different things. Call it a moonshot in my offense. Just give your cover team time to get downfield before the ball is caught. And, of course, with the ball hitting the ground, it can bounce any which direction. So Manitoba working deep in their own end.
Ansu. Well, back takes the snap, looks for Babbage. He'll take it off the left tackle, finds a hole, charges up ahead into the secondary, and gets up to the 40-yard line. First down run for Jake Babbage.
Good balanced approach again, coming to the run again. You see the pulling guard out in front, or pulling lineman out in front, and the running back just keeping his legs going. You see the difference between a hit and a tackle. You saw it on that. The free safety came in, made contact, but with these running backs being such good athletes in the low center of gravity, you're going to have to wrap them up to take them down. The extra yards got them the first down on that play.
14 total yards rushing in Sunday's action for Manitoba. They had 13 there. Good passing catch out to the right side. Corbin Kitchen pulls down his second catch of the game, and Manitoba is moving the ball.
Well, you're seeing here a defense that's going to be forced to cover the entire field. You can see him get it all the way out to the wide side of the field there with no problem. Lots of space out there. So the defense is going to have to be disciplined. They can't leave those sidelines open because the ball can get out there in a hurry. And again, it's resulted in a few first downs already today.
Second consecutive first down for Ansu and Team Manitoba. Babbage starts right, cuts back left, gets through one tackle, and he's swallowed up by the Nova Scotia D for a loss. Second down and long coming up for Manitoba.
A loss of 5 yards on the play.
So in the earlier game, we saw these second and long situations were difficult to manage. Again, Manitoba, a team that likes to go to the air, is likely coming with a passing play here. Again, not wanting to take a risk, but definitely willing to get downfield. So we'll see what Manitoba's drawn up on 2nd and 15.
Second and long, passing situation for Ansu. Good ball through the middle. It's brought down and right at contact. Brady Fay, and it's a first down, Manitoba.
Wow, great play design again, knowing where they need to get to, and the quarterback looking downfield. Great hands catch by your receiver, and you can see he didn't have a chance to tuck the ball away before contact arrived, and that's exactly why you teach your receivers to use their hands, catch with their hands, because if contact happens at the same time, if it comes into your body, usually the ball is coming out. So great hands catch and a good conversion of 15 yards to get a first down.
Manitoba marching down the field. They are into Nova Scotia territory. There's the handoff. Flag flies on the near side. Just a couple of yards ahead for the running back number 26, Philip Ezekia. See what the call is from the official.
Ezekia with the carry. Nance's barred with the tackle. There's a penalty flag.
Against Nova Scotia. So that'll be at 5 yards. First and five, coming up for Manitoba now. Good drive, good response drive after giving up 7 on special teams a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and it's exactly what Manitoba needed to do, just keep their focus. Again, a blunder on the punt return team. Again, needed to be responded well to, and as you mentioned, good response from the offense to move the ball. Now Nova Scotia's going to have to stiffen here if they want to keep this lead.
Ansu's looked impressive on this drive. A couple of completions. The big one to Fay. Hand off to Ezekia. Drives through for an extra couple. He'll be close to the first down. Ansu thinks it's good. I think he might be just short.
You know, yards after contact, and we've talked about this today earlier, is going to be so important for these running backs and for the defense to eliminate the yards. Because, again, great contact happened, but he able to keep his legs going, making it 2nd and 1 versus like a 2nd and 2 and 3. So a little bit more at your disposal as an offense. You can take a shot to the end zone here. You can just take your first down if you want, but a few more plays to look at if you're 2nd and 1 versus 2nd and short.
2nd and 5 on the 2nd and 1, on the 44. Handoff left side to Babbage. Is he over?
Trying the left side.
I think his forward progress may have got him enough.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rob.
2 yards.
They're going to give it to him. Yep, indeed. First down, Manitoba, their 4th of the drive. And now they're starting to knock on the door. Ansu's look good. A couple of good balls up the middle of the field and to the right. And Babbage and Nezeki have carried to the ground game. 4:40 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Nova Scotia. The underdog leads. Ansu takes the snap. Babbage right then left. Nova Scotia read that. Straight away, it's a tackle for a loss. 2nd and long coming up.
I want to see Babbage get a little bit lower on contact when he's running with the ball. The last play on the short yardage, he ended up getting what he needed to, but when you start to come into contact, he's going to end up taking a lot of shots if you're upright as a running back. And if you're going to be a workhorse, you're going to have to protect your body. So you got another back in there now. Again, they can rotate their backs through and use them well. We'll see if they go to the air here on 2nd and 12.
Obvious passing situation for Ansu. Good pressure from Nova Scotia. Pass underneath, caught by Aiden Bone-Amon. He won't have enough for the first down, but it was a nice catch nonetheless.
Yeah, and with the pressure coming off the edge, they had to get the ball out a little sooner than they probably wanted to, and again, that forced them into taking the low. You see the hit as the ball is released, but again, like you said, great catch in traffic. You got to make it manageable for the coaches, and they're going for it here on 3rd down. It looks like about 3rd and 7.5, so a good chunk of change they got to get here, but willing to take that risk early on.
The way Ansu's throwing the ball, this isn't that big of a gamble, I don't think. We'll see if it pays off. Fakes the handoff, rolls out right, good pressure, gets it away while getting hit, and he didn't get enough on it. On his back foot, it's knocked down by number 6, Caden Frazier, and that will be a turnover on down.
So last time Nova Scotia responded with some pressure on a long-distance situation, which they ended up converting on. This time they drop out into coverage, and there was just nobody open, and they end up containing the edge there. You force the quarterback, tried to get outside, but again with the sound defense, holding contain on the edge, he just couldn't get outside and find his receiver downfield. So I like the call, I like the risk. It didn't turn out for Manitoba. We'll see what Nova Scotia has to do here.
Throwing hands off. Number 20. Liam Flag.
Flag in the backfield in the area of holding. We'll see what it is.
You know, on that last throw from Ansu, he's got a good arm, but when you're back off your back foot like that, so much air gets under the ball, it's really hard to complete those passes.
It is, yeah, and that's due to the pressure he got in his face. So, again, good job of getting it away, because otherwise it would have been a sack with a bigger loss. But and actually, although the DB was close and couldn't quite handle the ball, probably a good thing he didn't catch it, because he would have lost some yards. Because, again, on 3rd down, that knockdown, unless you got a clear path to better yardage, you want to knock that thing down, take the ball, get the offense on the field. So here we are at 1st and 20. Negative yards after the penalty.
Cohen takes the snap, looking middle of the field, nothing there. He scrambles, steps up in the play, shakes off a tackle, but they catch up to him. It's number 43, Jesse Denica with the sack. Great pressure from the Manitoba team.
So with the helmet coming off, he's got to exit the field. So we're going to have a new quarterback coming on. And again, Nova Scotia wanting to throw the ball and him not wanting to run. You can see he kind of had an opportunity, a short window of opportunity to take off and run and get a few yards. But knowing it was 1st and 20, he needed to get more than a couple on 1st down. So he ended up not running and elected to kind of look downfield a little bit longer. Now we got 2nd and 20 for Nova Scotia.
This is Landon Tomlin out of Porters Lake in at quarterback Nova Scotia. No, I got it right. Yeah, out of Porters Lake for Nova Scotia. He's going to hand off. 2nd and super long. Nowhere to go for Liam Legg. And it is now a punting situation.
So, a very aggressive defense with a new quarterback, and sometimes you see that not go well. In that case, if you see the backfield exchange, it was not the right exchange, not the right mesh point, and so, again, timing was off, and Manitoba was all over the backfield, ready to make a stop. So, Nova Scotia going the wrong direction on that offensive series, likely giving Manitoba, who will look to respond from their last punt return, good field position here.
Ginge Good kick, sailing up the middle of the field, racing up to grab it is Vergata, and he's tackled right at the 53-yard line. No return. Good kick, good coverage.
Yeah, great job of getting under the ball, and as you saw that ball sail through the air, you could see the back of the ball, it started to drop, and that's an indication that the ball is not going to carry through the air, and it's actually going to drop more straight down, and you can see great adjustment getting under it. If the tip starts to turn over, it usually carries a fair bit further. So great job for Manitoba to get decent field position just by fielding that in the air.
1:40 remaining. Clock is rolling at Foote Field. Cole Ansu back out for Manitoba. He's had a solid first quarter. There's a flag, some flinching on the offensive side. Pass is complete out to the right to Corbin Kinchin. He'll get about 9. Could be offside, though.
It looked like the defensive line jumped slightly before the offensive guard or tackle moved. So we'll see here. You can see he does move, but I think by that time the D-line had already gone into the neutral zone. So once the D-lineman drops or jumps, if the offensive moved because of that, then they're going to give it on the defense. So we'll see what they saw and what they called here.
Yeah, it is against Nova Scotia. Kinchin get the first down on that play. They're going to decline it. It'll be second down. And
offside against Nova Scotia. Declined by
talking about it still. I thought Kinchin got about 9 on the play, so they would decline this.
Yeah, he's got the foot spotted over there on the far side of the field, 1 yard shy. So 2nd and 1 or 1st and 5.
They're going to take the yards.
Well, good call. I mean, take the big gain. Converting 2nd and 1. Committed to getting that first down here.
2nd and short. Manitoba into Nova Scotia territory again. 3rd time today, but no points to show for it so far. Ansu has Babbage behind him. Sends the receivers. Hands off. And he's met right at handoff. No beaten. Big Noah beaten. And a big play for the Nova Scotia line.
Well, a huge play getting into the backfield very early and very quickly. You can see here a kind of block was missed in the middle. Again, a pulling guard tried to clip it, but he was just too fast. His first step just too quick to get the blockers to him. He was in the backfield right at the exchange. Literally as the ball was handed to him, he was wrapping him up. So good first step by the defensive lineman to penetrate into the backfield.
And now since Suffern didn't take the extra down on the offside and took the yards, Manitoba's punting. So that's the payoff in that situation. Manitoba punting. Kick is away. Yipin around the 15-yard line. Caught and returned. Heavy return still going. Good run back by the returner, number 17, Logan Walton. And Nova Scotia's offense will head back out.
As an offense here, Nova Scotia, I think, just needs to work on getting the hands in their playmakers again. Walton being one of those guys. We saw him active in the first game in the aerial attack. At this time, they just put him back on punt return to just get the ball in his hands. So we'll see with the flag on the field how that impacts this return. But either way, I'm pretty sure Nova Scotia is going to be bringing their offense out, and they'll be marching the field.
Holding on to a 7-0 lead. That was off the special teams punt cover. Gathering up a fumble on a wild play. Has given Nova Scotia the lead. The defense is bent but hasn't broken yet. And Carter Cohn and the Nova Scotia offense will be back way up, well inside the 10-yard line to start this drive. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, I said great return, but unfortunately a legal block was mixed in there, negating that return. So what would have been yardage up near the 40-yard line, like you said, they're back inside the 10, so 30-plus yard difference with a single penalty. So that penalty proved costly for Nova Scotia.
Cohen gets the play in from the sideline. Looks in, hands it off, up the middle. Lag will get a few yards, and that will line up a second down situation for Nova Scotia.
Davidson with the tackle for Team Manitoba.
I think I see zeros on the clock, and so we are going to be flipping ends to the south end of the field, I guess, as they work to get out of their own end zone. Nova Scotia needs to get a drive together here to buy himself some field space.
And since we got some time while the linemen run all the way down the field, Rob, I'm going to take a chance to send out a thank you to Football Canada national sponsors and partners, Sport Canada, Volt Athletics, Game Strat, Avis, Invictus Gloves, O-Pro Mouthguards, NFL Canada, and the CFL. Thank you for being a part of the Football Canada team. 7-0 Nova Scotia leads Manitoba to start the second quarter. They are looking at a 2nd and 8 from their own 10 with the lead and with the eyes on the 5th place game in New Brunswick on Saturday afternoon.
It definitely takes a team to pull an event off like this. Of course, the games span over a week. Players play 3 games in a 1-week span. We've got tech crew, video crew, announcers, score crew. We've got volunteers all over the U campus here just helping the players get to and from all the events going on over the course of the week. So thank you to all those helpers out there.
Cohen looking to pass on 2nd and 8. Hits Walton out on the left side. Breaks the tackle, and he's gobbled up at the 14-yard line. That will not be enough for a first down. And now head coach Rob Suffern has to make a choice on field position here.
And he's special teams coach is looking to the head coach down here on the sideline, and it sounds like or looks like they're going to give up the safety here again, playing this field position battle early with the special teams touchdown for Nova Scotia to open us up. This has been kind of a little bit of a defense going to work here with each of these teams. And so, again, field position is important. This will be a choice that gives them a lot of field position. We'll see if the defense can come out and make it worthwhile.
Nova Scotia, they will kick it. And skied one. He got under it. And it's going to drop out. I have it at about the 34. Let's see what the judge the side judge says. 33-yard line. Excellent field position for Manitoba. After that decision to kick it, Rob, are you surprised?
I am a little surprised, especially after I tried to read the signals of the coaches. I was thinking, what's going on here? So, yeah, you mean a little surprised, but again, belief in your defense. Manitoba, again, it's going to be a quick strike offense. They like to go to the air. Let's see what they have here on offense now that they're already in pretty close to scoring position here.
So great starting position for Ansu in the Manitoba offense. And they're going to pass, going right at it. Hale down right sideline. Some hand fighting. A late flag will come out. Number 16, Isaiah Booten, was right in the area, battling, hand fighting with Brady Fay, and it drew a flag.
There is a penalty flag.
Well, and again, it came out a little bit late. We can see here at the end what the refs were seeing. Again, a little bit of contact, but I don't know if that's enough to throw the flag. Obviously, the official on the sideline who gets paid to do their job and not us up here. We don't get paid to officiate. Saw what he saw and he made the call, so that's bonus for Manitoba. They're moving in. But again, that's the other opportunity we didn't really see a lot in the first game, is taking the shots downfield. Is coverage guys are going to clutch and grab a little bit if they feel they got beaten. So that's the advantage right there. Great job of Manitoba to stretch the defense, go downfield, put the DB in a tough situation where he needed some contact to hold him up.
Booten was giving up about 3 inches on that to Fay, and so it makes sense. So after the pass interference, swing out to the far side. Number 86, Max Payne. Nowhere to go. Good stop by Nova Scotia. Second down.
Yeah, Sam got in there really quickly, read it really well, and so again, when you'll see here on the replay, as he throws it out, you got to have your eyes are to the back looking at it, and so he doesn't have enough room or time to make a move. So the goal on those quick strike plays is get the ball and get his hands up, but well read by the Nova Scotia defenders to get into the backfield for a loss.
2nd and 13 in the red zone are Manitoba. In scoring position, Pass is knocked down by Caden Frazier, and another big play on defense for Nova Scotia.
So once again, this defense is reading the play well early. In that case, Caden came in, got a hand on the ball. Great job by the defense, kind of bailing their punt team out a little bit here. Again, they got the ball in very close to scoring position, but their defense stepped up big, went for a loss, and then a pass deflection, and now they're forcing the field goal attempt. So in this case, the defense and the decision to punt that away was a decent decision because they're only going to give up 3 here if it's good, other than 2 with the safety.
Field goal attempt here, 27-yard try. Flags on the play, they'll blow it dead. Gabriel Yaipin is the kicker for Manitoba. He did not attempt a field goal in Sunday's action, and he missed an extra point conversion.
I think they're going to be moving this back 5 yards. It looked like one of the linemen with his inside foot kicked back early, brought the foot back, but again, because the snap happened and they caught that movement, they're going to make it a little bit longer of a field goal.
Looks like 33 yards maybe. Yeah, Yaipin. See if he has the leg. The breeze has started to kick up a little bit from the north, blowing left to right, not much of one. Snap is good. Kick is going left. It's no good. It's going to be run out of the end zone by Payne. And did he get out? He did, just enough. No point. And it remains a 7-0 lead for Nova Scotia.
So back in my time in the CFL, I had a coach. Tom Higgins was our coach here, and his philosophy was actually the same as we just saw on the field. You're in the end zone, punt it away. Because if your defense can get a stand, even if it is bad field position, you're only giving up 3 versus the automatic 2, and then still giving them the ball. So philosophically, it does make sense if your defense can execute it. In that case, they punted it away, gave up no points because of the missed field goal. So clearly, a good philosophy, good decision by the coaching staff on both ends to punt it away. And then does that extra 5 yards, did that cost them the field goal? The penalty on the converse. So again, made it a little bit more so in the heads of those who were trying to execute the kick or the holder, but that ended up costing them for no points.
So Cohen and the Nova Scotia offense go to work. From their own 20, there's a completion down on the near side to Ty Boone. He'll get about 5 yards, second down.
So I like the simple play call. I like what they're trying to do is just get the ball out quick, get some completions. Again, you want to get your quarterback in a little bit of a rhythm because Nova Scotia does like to throw the ball. They have a fairly balanced attack with run and pass, but again, you're trying to get your quarterback into a rhythm. And this is a quarterback who likes to set up in the pocket and throw the ball and throw it on time. We'll see if we get more of that here in this drive.
2nd and 4. Cohen hands off to Leg. Leg following his blockers is up across the first down marker, and it is a first down indeed.
Yeah, great second down conversion. Great push by the offensive line to get lots of space, and you can see the momentum of the pile just moving in the direction of the defense really gives you a good indication of the blocking up front and the running back just carrying the load in behind that offensive line.
Fresh set of downs for Carter Cohen. And Nova Scotia up 7-0. 8.5 to go here in the first half. Cohen looks left, near side, hits Walton. Walton makes a move around the defender, breaks one tackle. Gang tackled at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 8.
I like the approach, getting the ball in different hands, right? They've got all their players involved in this game. They've done some running and passing to different guys. And here again, just get him in space, and you can see him kind of weaving his way through the defense. Good job of continuing to get upfield, because sometimes receivers will kind of lose yards to see if they can gain yards. He didn't do that on that play. He just kind of weaved his way up further and further ahead to make a very manageable second down situation.
Second and short. Cohen. Play clock down to 1. Is he going to get it off in time? He got maybe an extra half second. He does. Dumps it off to the near side to 85. To Ty Boone, and that is another Nova Scotia first down.
Yeah, great job of the defense reacting to that. And although they did get a first down, a swing pass, open field tackling is absolutely critical when a team sets you up like that. Again, with the receivers going downfield and the back swung out, number 31 did not hesitate. He shot the gap, and he was able to tackle him really close and limit the gain. Although they got the first down, still a great defensive play.
And they just got the play off too, Rob. 6 seconds on the play clock now here. Cohen stands in, gives to Lag, side steps through the middle, up across the 45 to the 47. Decent gain on first down.
Yeah, great job by the defensive line. The end man and the line of scrimmage down here kind of had to play both the quarterback and the running back, and that's why you run a read option play. If the quarterback feels that guy's going to collapse down on the back, he pulls it and runs. But with a little bit less of a run threat from this quarterback, it's a little bit easier for that defensive lineman to focus on the running back, which he did on that play.
Cohen changes the play, steps back, quick throw, caught, hit right at contact. Ayers Perry.
He's going to be about a yard short again. Great defensive tackle, forcing a decision time for Manitoba. Now what's going to be looking at 3rd and 1. And again, good quick release, get the ball out, but great tackle, good form tackle. If you're gonna use a tackle in your film session with your players, that's what you want to do. Wrap them up, heads out of the way, and you're driving through. So as soon as the ball was caught, he was driven backwards. Great defensive tackle.
You talked about it a lot, rhythm on offense. That was a no-step slant timing route, and they connected. 3rd and short, flag on the play. Deep into the backfield quickly. Number 92, Joshua Ayer. It's a sack if the flag doesn't negate it.
They may have been a little too quick into the backfield.
Maybe.
We'll see what these men in stripes have to say about this one.
Nova Scotia's feeling fairly confident that it was an early jump, and they're right. That will give them another first down and take them into Manitoba territory. Up 7-0 and moving the ball.
Yeah, both officials saw that one, so it wasn't going to get missed. So opportunity for Nova Scotia to continue this drive as they finally get into Manitoba territory.
Cohen in the black helmet, hands on his hips. He'll lean forward, gets the snap. No drop. Jumps one out. Deep threat to Walton. Over the shoulder catch. What a grab. Logan Walton. First down, Nova Scotia in the red zone.
Well, as they lined up for that play, I was looking at the far side of the field, seeing that matchup, and I'm like, that's a matchup they've gone to a few times over the course of the week. And again, right back at it. Nice timing fade route. Outside release, perfectly thrown ball. And what you try to teach your quarterback and receiver combo is that outside release, and then you want the ball dropped to his outside shoulder. And you could see Walton was able to just fade to that ball, a couple steps to his outside, secure the reception for the big play for Nova Scotia.
Big time throw and catch from Cohen and Walton, and Nova Scotia's in business. The handoff to Leg, shifty through the middle, makes one defender miss. He'll get a couple more. Second down coming up.
Well, interesting if this is enough for them to feel like they can play 3-down football. If they're confident, maybe look at a run to get 3-4, maybe pop one for a first down, or do they take their shot into the end zone here? I know last game for Nova Scotia, they like to go to that corner route to Walton again. They just missed them last time. I'm sure they're going to come back to that at some point in time here in the red zone. We'll see what their philosophy is and their play calling shows us here as they get ready.
Play clock trickling down. That's going to force Nova Scotia to take a timeout.
Well, good timeout to use again. You're in a great scoring position for another major, and a second major at this point puts you up a fair bit, and so that's a good position for Nova Scotia to be in. And they've taken time to think this one over, make the right decision. You can see the energy in the players here on the sideline and in the huddle. They are fired up, pretty excited about the situation they're in.
Crucial moment in the game for Nova Scotia with a 7-0 lead. We'll take another look at the catch. Logan Walton, big time play over the shoulder like Willie Mays.
Like perfectly laid in, you could see that, and great, like just slight adjustment. And the timing of that and just the distance of that, you've set yourself up as a receiver with the DB on your inside hip. You control the adjustment, and you control when you fade away. And you can see at the end of that replay, he just fades a step and a half away from the DB and is able to secure that catch over the shoulder. So great connection there by those two. Let's see what they have here on second down, working to get a major.
Big play for the Nova Scotia offense. 4:01 remaining in the first half. 2nd and 6 in the red zone.
After that timeout,
Looking for
Nova
more
Scotia
points.
second
It's
and
been a
6.
good drive.
Manitoba 12
Cohen's
early.
looked sharp. Cohen fakes the pitch underneath. Rolls out to his left. Defender all over him. Number 92, Joshua Iyer with the sack up high. Knocked the helmet off again.
Well, we got a flag on the field at the 10-yard line, right around the line of scrimmage, so I'm not sure who that's on or which team. It's going to be a big one, though, either way. It's like they're talking to Nova Scotia here early, so that lends us to believe that they may be going against Manitoba.
Cohen's got to come off the field again. It is third down situation, though.
Offside penalty against Team Manitoba.
They're still talking about it, talking to the Nova Scotia coach.
I think coach is trying to get some clarification on whether the quarterback can play or not in this next play, and it looks like the rule is if the helmet comes off, he's got to come off.
Yeah.
So you got to look at that chin strap, get the equipment guy tightening that up or something. That's twice it's come off, and you want to avoid that for this exact reason. You know, again, not his fault, but we got to find a way to keep that helmet on his head so he can stay in the game. Again, not a great situation to switch your quarterback out because your backup quarterback or your second quarterback may not even be the backup, just the one not starting this game. You know, he's coming in, hasn't thrown a lot. So again, your package may be a little bit more limited. We'll see. Got 10 seconds on the play clock left to get this off. With 2nd and really short, a handoff here, but last time we had a bad exchange. So we'll see if they can clean that up and get the first down.
1 second on the play clock. Tomlin just gets it off. Leg cuts to the left through the hole. Is he in? Touchdown, Nova Scotia. Liam Leg.
You know, hits versus tackles described the end of that play. We had a number of guys making contact on the back, but again, low center of gravity, refuses to go down, fights his way into the end zone for the first major for the offense here on this afternoon's game.
Liam Lag. Number of carries on the drive. Nova Scotia marches all the way down the field, and that is if the point is converted, Rob, that's called a 10-point turn. And this field goal turns into 7 the other way, and Nova Scotia late in the first half here with the extra point. You betcha. It's 14-0.
Well, a great job with the offense moving the ball down the field and punching it into the end zone. We've seen some teams this morning struggle to convert when in the red zone. Nova Scotia did a great job with that counter play, and you can see the running back had started off to the right and then followed his blocks to the left and then bounced off a few would-be tacklers and finished in the end zone. So great drive, as you said, series of plays starting from the missed field goal at the other end all the way down the field. They go for the major, and now it's Manitoba's opportunity with 3:43 left in the half. Can Manitoba find a way to move the ball and get some points? They've been able to move it, but they haven't been able to turn that yardage into points yet today.
And they haven't, and Cole Ansu and the Manitoba offense need a big drive as Nova Scotia has pulled ahead by 2 major scores. 3:43 remaining in the second quarter.
So we got the kickoff team in clusters. You can see here a group of 5 to the left and a group of 6 to the right. Again, threatening different types of kicks. They've clearly got something other than a deep kick in there, and here it comes. It's nice and deep and high with hang time.
Caught on the run, Owen Fair up the middle on the pile, pole down. This drive will start at the 37-yard line.
So a good little return again, catching it in the air, still inside his 35, which is kind of that benchmark of where you want to see if you can get your return to. So with a fairly long field for Manitoba and 3:36 left, we'll see what they can do with the time they have in the half.
That's the 32, not the 37. Cole Ansu. Pretty good thrower. And Manitoba needs a drive. They need time on the field, time of possession, get themselves back in this game before the half.
Looks like a guy, one of the receiver maybe cramping up or something, took a knee on the far side of the field by the officials, so they've blown it dead. No timeout called, just an injury break right here. But, like you said, Manitoba can move the ball in chunks, and so they may be going to the air, but 3 minutes and 24 seconds is lots of time. You don't need to be in a rush. I mean, if you want a change of tempo for your offense, sometimes jumping to that hurry-up offense, it's not really a hurry-up, it's just no huddle to keep the defense kind of out of their huddle to discuss things. We'll see what Manitoba does here with 5 receivers set out here, looking to move the ball.
Out of the injury timeout, Ansu takes the snap. Miscommunication's going to run with it. Broken play. Nova Scotia swallows them up around the 38. All kinds of movement at the line.
Yeah, and your quarterback taking a few shots there at the end of that play. Again, all legal, but again, as a stand-up runner, quarterbacks aren't designed like the running backs. You can see there he makes a nice move to get positive yards, but as this is wrapped up, defense is coming in, and they're coming in hard, and it's not necessarily as an offensive coordinator what you want to see your quarterback do, taking shots like that, because he's obviously an important part of the function of any offense, and so, again, selectively choosing when your quarterback's going to take off and run and keep him safe so he can stay in the game.
Penalty against Manitoba backs them up 5 yards. So an auspicious start to this important drive. 3:05 to go in the half. Ansu swings his receivers up, takes the snap. Looking left, now to the middle, nothing there. Will scramble right up the gut where he's pinched between 2 Nova Scotia defenders, brought down at the 30-yard line.
So again, coverage there, forcing the quarterback to pull the ball down and take off. Not what he wanted to do, could have let this one go. But again, just nobody open that he could find, and so he had to take off and run, taking a couple more shots. Did get a few yards, somewhat manageable. 2nd and 11.
They'll mark it at the 31. 2:45. Clock is moving. 2nd and long, big play for Ansu. 5 receivers fly. Ansu pump fakes, draws it wide of the mark. Not a great throw, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, we've seen Nova Scotia mix up their defense and bring some pressure sometimes on long downs. And again, in that case, they brought a little bit of pressure off this backside, and so he had to throw it a little bit earlier. But the connection between the quarterback and receiver wasn't quite there, because he kind of threw it right at the sticks. And if the guy on the outside gears down in that hole, he probably gets a completion, but he faded to the inside. Now, whether that's a play call or he was just throwing it away because of the pressure, either way, Nova Scotia played it really well on defense. And as we talked about the clock with 3:26 where Manitoba took possession of this ball, that's enough time that if they don't get a first down or get a drive together, Nova Scotia is getting the ball back with, once I said, plenty of time to move the ball down the field. 2.5 minutes is lots of time to take a couple shots or make some plays. We'll see what happens here with this punt and punt return units on the field, and Nova Scotia an opportunity to take the field on offense one more time before the half ends.
The Ivan will punt as an injured Nova Scotian on the field. Take a minute to acknowledge Volt Athletics. Volt Athletics is the official supplier of online strength and conditioning services for Football Canada. To find out how you or your team can be in top competitive shape with sports-specific workouts, visit www.voltathletics.com. Off the field comes Renez Monroe. And officials will blow in the play. 2nd and long. 3rd and long. Punting coming up from Yipin. No room to kick. He's going to have to go. Can he get away from a tackle? He can. One, but not the second one. Brought down from behind by Joshua Iyer. Flag on the play on the far side.
So a punter feeling pressure. I don't think it was a called run. Not at this place in the field, but again, felt the pressure and took off. There is a flag. We'll see what happens with the flag. If it's on Nova Scotia, it's going to save Manitoba. If it's not, and it looks like the offense is coming on the field for Nova Scotia, so it looks like they're going to get possession of this ball on another big special teams play deep in their own end.
Very wrong number. Noah Laporte with the tackle and special teams. Flag is against Nova Scotia. Unnecessary roughness, and Manitoba gets a break. Not only that, they'll get a first down, and the Nova Scotia defense will have to come back out on the field.
Oh, tough type of penalty to take on a play like that. Executed well. Again, an undisciplined penalty that gives them the first down. So we'll see the Nova Scotia defense trot back on the field. A little bit of energy on Manitoba after kind of getting saved from what looked like it was going to be a disastrous play with almost guaranteed points on the board for Nova Scotia. Manitoba is back in action on offense.
Yeah, good eye. There seems to be a little bit of wind in the sails for Manitoba's offense, running back on the field, bailed out. Another crack at the can here. Down 14-0, 2:22 remaining in the first half. They'll resume the drive at the 46-yard line. They're calling off one of the defenders. Nova Scotia needs a couple of players, one at least on the field. They're all kinds of confused. And eventually a guy will trot out there. Jackson Gallant will get out there, take his spot at nose, shifts over to the line now, tackle, and we're back underway. Colansu looking left, heaves it up. Catch, did he make it? Is it a good catch? They say it is. Great catch, Brady Fay pulling the ball off the turf, and it's a first down, Manitoba.
Up at the 48-yard line of Nova Scotia.
The official in great position on the outside of that catch. Both of them there, ready to make the call. Great job, great placement of the ball, so only your receiver can catch it. Again, close, but a good completion for Manitoba.
Cornerback Rowan Sanford thought it maybe wasn't a catch, but play continues, and Sue knocked down at the line by Nova Scotia.
On the defensive line, playing an active role, whether it's getting pressure, or again, you teach your defensive linemen that if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, especially if a team starts getting the ball out quickly. So again, that hit somebody, couldn't see exactly where it hit them or who it hit, but again, good job of disrupting that pass and not letting it get to the receiver.
I think that might have been Jackson Gallant who got his hand on that ball. Second down and 10. Ansu near side. Caught right and hit right at the catch is number 84, Jace LeBlanc. That will not be enough for the first down.
Well, Nova Scotia opting to bring pressure against this passing game. In that case, it was Renes Monroe, linebacker, coming off the edge, trying to get into the face of the quarterback. Again, that ball's coming out quick, so pressure's got to be quick. We'll see. They got 7 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they come or if they drop out of this pressure package look.
Receiver shoot right up the gut, picked off by number 2, Rowan Sanford, and he's off to the races down the right sideline. Hit, brought down inside Manitoba territory. Flag near the Manitoba bench. Great read by Sanford, and he gets the interception.
We're going to have an illegal block on the far side of the field, and it's a good call. Unfortunately for Monroe, he's the one that got caught. Again, not a lot of contact, and you'll see here right at the end, there's right there you can kind of see he made an attempt to block the quarterback in the back, and there was enough contact that brought the flag out. So unfortunately, again, another play that could have resulted in more yards. Now they're moving it back. Again, what would have been great field position and a good opportunity to get a few more points on the board. Nova Scotia is going to have to work from their own 40.
Another huge play from the Nova Scotia defense. Rowan Sanford picked off Colansu. Even though it was a big return, that illegal block has marched them back to their own 40-yard line. But they have a 14-0 lead, 1:35 remaining in the first half. Carter, pitch right. That's number 26 on Nova Scotia. And he's out around a couple of yards on the right side.
So back to that interception, we saw the pressure package paid off. Sometimes when you bring pressure, if the quarterback delivers a strike, it could be a touchdown because they're in a cover zero look. with man across the board, and so that means no safety deep in the field, so they were exposed. But because they brought pressure and they felt like they could get to them, they said to their DBs, you bring your DBs in tight. You say, we're bringing pressure, so if it's coming early. And so he was able to jump that over route and pick it off. So a great defensive play to set up this last potential drive for Nova Scotia. Again, with second 11, likely a timeout being used, because if Manitoba can get the ball back, they will have time after the second 11. But it also can pay off for Nova Scotia with extra time to make a call. They convert this, then they're going to have the opportunity to maybe get some points on the board. As a Nova Scotia coach right now, I'm talking to my players about executing the play that's called and protecting the ball. Going into the half up 14-0 is a huge lift for Nova Scotia. A great first half. What they don't want to do late in this is give any type of momentum or energy boost to Manitoba, who right now they're controlling this game.
Coming out of a timeout, 1:28 remaining. Second and long from their own 39.
After that time,
Owen lines up, empty backfield.
Second and 11.
Something looks funny. He's asking for the play. Lots of time on the play clock. They'll get it off. Wobbly toss out to Walton. He'll run after the catch. First down, Nova Scotia.
So you saw the formation there. It was 3 on each side, so 6 receiver package. And again, one guy came in motion, a little bit of a fake there, getting the ball, and then get the ball into your playmaker's hands. You see the lineman out in front blocking. The key block was number 50 coming around the corner, and that's where you pull that offensive line to get out there. Great job of Walton converting the first down, giving him a chance to keep the ball moving.
Cohen drops back to pass, wide open in the middle of the field. Walton, he's going to race to the sideline and get there. First down, Nova Scotia.
Well, and you can see they're going to their guy again. Walton being a big part on Sunday, and another big part here of the offense, going deep, catching over the top, and now coming underneath, using those long strides. He's a nice long stride receiver. You know, once he got on the run, and again, intelligent receiver to know with the time on the clock, if I can get to the end zone, I will. Otherwise, get out of bounds, stop the clock, save the timeout, and give yourself some more time. Now, if you look at here, Walton's down here on the short side of the field with coverage over the top. They're going to want to take care of him.
Rush up the middle, swallowed up. Quickly, forward toss was the call. Boone pulled down. It'll be second down. Walton had 153 yards on Sunday, and in this particular situation, I think Cohen might look for him again.
Well, and the defense is adjusting here. What we're seeing in this Manitoba defense, knowing they like to go vertical. Again, not here. They're bringing some pressure. Here it comes. Does he get it off?
Going with the toss, back across his body. Walton wanted a pass interference call.
Look, there's a flag down here.
Comes out late. He got it.
He's looking to the other two officials. They didn't call it, but we'll see if we got one on the backside. Again, Walton getting in the mix, really working hard. And again, this is an adjustment by a receiver, just getting into the eyes. And because of that hard work, the back official down here on the close side from us saw the hand on the back, pulling him down. So great hard work play by Walton, keeping the play alive and making something happen. Great job of Nova Scotia with a great opportunity to add to their lead here before we go in with 37 seconds left in the half.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease rob, and Logan Walton protested just enough. Pass interference is the call that takes Nova Scotia inside the red zone for the second time this afternoon. Up 14-0. Cohen, empty backfield. 3 receivers each side. Cohen, good throw, too far for Stanhope on the near side.
Just out of his reach, you can see what they're doing. They got 3 receivers to the short side of the field. They're trying to send 2 guys deep with a guy to the flat. They just missed on that one, but you're also seeing a coverage here that sometimes you get man this close to the end zone, but with it being on the 17-yard line, it seems like they're still sitting in a zone, and again, that's probably because of Walton's deep threat. You want to make sure they take that away, and again, that's exactly why you do that. You miss on the underneath, now you're looking at 2nd and 10.
Cohen with Stanhope to his right. Low snap, pulls it out. Cohen lofts it down for Walton. Off his fingertips and out the back of the end zone. Great try by Walton. Good coverage by Manitoba on defense.
Well, no surprise they're going back to that connection on the fade. You can see we're going to get a great replay of it in the corner of the end zone. Another little fade route. It's coming down again. There's a little bit of tugging there on the jersey, but again, probably not enough to call. The officials didn't see it there. Enough there to make that call, but again, good battle, and they want to let some of that hand battling go. It's when you start turning the body. It looks like their offense is on the field here on 3rd and 10. Let's see what they've dialed up to see if they can extend their lead here before the half.
Electing not to take the points. Cohen, 3rd down, flags all over the place, throw through the middle, nearly picked off. There were flags everywhere.
We had flags, we had whistles.
Yeah.
There's lots going on. We'll see as they sort this out what happens.
This late in the half, 21 seconds remaining on the clock. Nova Scotia coach Rob Suffren electing not to take the points. But with the flags, Manitoba seems convinced this will turn it over. Offside the call against Nova Scotia. It will turn it over. And that's it. That's all. Great drive from Nova Scotia. Stalls in the red zone.
Yeah, interesting decision not to take the points up to Majors. You know, again, a field goal puts it as a 3-score game. Interesting. Again, they obviously felt confident they were going to be able to execute that, but really right from the get-go, it was a receiver offside, so it wasn't going to go well for them, even if they did get a completion there. We'll see what Manitoba decides to do here with only a few seconds left.
Manitoba's offense trying to eat some big yards late. There's a throw. Nobody around. Incomplete. Ansu took a big hit at the end of the play from Luke Stanley. And it's incomplete. 2nd down.
So the incomplete pass will stop the clock now with 13 seconds left. Again, likely can run this out here if they can get some plays here. But I don't know if they've got timeouts left or a quick timeout after this play will force a chance at a punt return. Possibly if Manitoba doesn't convert the 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Come on, Omari, let's go!
Play clock rolling down. Ansu doesn't look anxious. Clock did not expire. Handoff to number 34, Jack Babbage, far side. He got a couple. And with just 5 seconds left, Manitoba will likely sit on it.
Bring up 3rd down and
Well, they're going to have to punt this away. I don't know if it's like Nova Scotia maybe have burned a timeout to force the punt again. If they didn't call a timeout, the clock would have expired. They could have taken a knee to get out this, but given their playmaker, Walton, back, number 17, to field this, hey, give him a chance. He's
That's
a playmaker. Right. He likes to run in space. We'll see. Again, we've seen punt situations go all different directions today, so we'll see if that happens. But again, giving your punt return team one opportunity, either to come after this hard, you come really hard after this, get a block, or you leave it to your returner to make a play on the return.
Guypin back to punt.
I think if this was me, I think I'd dial up my best punt block here and just bring some pressure. It seems like guys have been getting in the face of the punters a little bit today, so now they're switching it up. They're going to rely on their quarterback, maybe to take a shot just to burn the timeout, or to run around for 5 seconds. But I've seen this go south too, so you gotta be very confident in what your guy's doing here.
All we're saying is don't go to the bathroom yet, okay? Let's see what's going to happen.
Okay, the clock's been down to 0, so they must have run the clock there. They're just taking the knee. So
there it is.
Takes a knee, and that's
Flag is spun by the official. That will end the half. Nova Scotia underdogs ahead again, heading to halftime. You're watching Football Canada Cup 2023 on Sports Canada TV, brought to you by ICU Video. Second half, Nova Scotia, Manitoba coming up. Stay with us. See you in 10, folks.
Scotia's my third leader.
Ladies and gentlemen, a pair of glasses were brought up to the PA booth that were found in the stands. If you're missing a pair of glasses, please come up to the booth and claim them. Ladies and gentlemen, I have your first half stats. First downs, Nova Scotia 7, Manitoba 9. Yards rushing, Nova Scotia 21, Manitoba 39. Yards passing, Nova Scotia 102, Manitoba 73. Total net offense, 121 yards for Nova Scotia, 111 yards for Manitoba. 14 passes with 10 completions for Nova Scotia, 17 passes and 9 completions for Manitoba. 8 penalties and 45 yards for Nova Scotia, and 6 penalties and 55 yards for Manitoba.
Halftime at Foote Field at the 2023 Canada Cup, where Nova Scotia leads Manitoba 14-0, headed to the second half. I'm TJ Phillips alongside Rob Harrod. And you know, Rob, it's been an underdog theme this afternoon at the Canada Cup, and Nova Scotia's keeping that theme going. Impressive first half for them. Most importantly, maybe some of those plays on defense.
You know, yeah, and the defense is not going to be able to sleep this second half. We know Manitoba can move the ball. Again, turnovers have been really costly. You talked about winning the turnover battle, and that's the most important stat on the sheet right now is turnovers are in favor of Nova Scotia, and that is showing on the board. After hearing the halftime stats, again, pretty even across the board. Manitoba a little bit of edge in the run game. Nova Scotia a little bit more through the air, but just under 150 yards each in net yards. Penalties have proven costly at times, and so they're going to want to clean some of those things up. Obviously, Manitoba needs to find a way to get some points going here early to get a little energy, get a little momentum. They're just struggling with the turnovers. Every time they're in scoring position, they do something that costs them. And so, again, the missed field goal, we talked about that, how it was a 10-point swing in the second quarter. So we get a shot there of the Nova Scotia captains leading their group out arm in arm, united again, looking to continue the momentum they've built and the 14-0 lead from the first half into this second half of play.
Carter Cohen and Logan Walton have connected a bunch of times at this tournament, over 230 yards between the two of them. Rob, what do you like about that duo?
Well, I like the chemistry that's been developed, and that's always, it's hard to do in some cases where you don't have a lot of time together, but clearly Carter's figured out, here's a go-to guy I can rely on. There's got to be trust there, and I think the trust has been built, and it's really established, and so they're willing to go back to that. And they've lined him up in a few different spots. They've used him from that wide-out spot going downfield. They've also motioned him down, brought him across the field, run him on corner routes. So they're finding different ways to allow him to attack the defense. And again, when he gets a clear pocket and can throw the ball, that's a dangerous combo. And I can imagine we're going to see a little bit more of that here in the second half of football.
Coach Rob Severin squandered an opportunity to add 3 more points to the total to make it 17 headed to the half by not electing to kick the field goal. So it's a 14-point lead for Nova Scotia. What does Manitoba have to do to get back in this game?
Well, I think getting back to a balanced attack on offense and finding a rhythm. They tend to find a rhythm with short passes, okay, and I think if they can continue with that and mixing in a little bit of a run, I think they'll have more success moving the ball on a consistent basis, and that will allow them to get some momentum momentum, but they really need to finish drives and not turn the ball over. You take those turnovers away, I think the score is very different here. So I think they need to protect the ball, and that's got to be a message coming from their head coach at halftime.
We'll see if Nova Scotia can hang on and land a spot in the 5th place game against the upstart team out of New Brunswick, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock local. Loser this one, Manitoba doesn't want to be that. We'll play BC Saturday morning at 10. Stay tuned, we got semifinal action coming up later today on Sport Canada TV, but Gabriel Yipin will get the second half underway. Nova Scotia back to retrieve it, deep in their own territory, trying the near side. That's number 86, Jake Womble. All the way up to the 40, over the 40-yard line. Good return, flag on the far side.
Well, another good return. I don't know if we'll get it negated by this flag, but we'll wait for the officials. But again, great return. Nice job getting to the wide side of the field and getting some yards. Unfortunately, we'll see if this penalty brings it back.
Second half brought to you by Opro Mouthguards. Opro are proud to be the official mouthguard of Football Canada. Opro provide the world's most technically advanced range of mouthguards, ensuring every athlete has the best protection for their teeth. Stay protected and buy your Football Canada mouthguard at opromouthguards.com.
10 yards from the infraction.
Looks like they're walking them back. Unfortunately, great return negated by the penalty. So back into their deep in their own end here. Looks like they're going to spot the ball around the 15. So unfortunate penalty again, costing them lots of yards. They're out past the 40 there. So 25 yards of field position lost because of that penalty. Starting to add up on both sides of the ball. They're going to have to be disciplined in the second half. They want to keep this lead.
Cohen in the Nova Scotia offense set to go to work for the first time here in the second half. Deep inside their own territory. Snap is bobbled. Cohen picks it up, scrambles, being chased from behind, heaves one downfield. It's caught. Ty Boone. First down, Nova Scotia.
Well, we've seen a punt drop and crazy things happen. Receivers line up in a bunch formation, so it looks like a triangle on the right-hand side to this short side. Again, a couple of different receivers in that mix with a running back. And again, they run in a bunch formation. I've seen that lots at different levels. It's become very popular at the pro level and in college, and we're seeing it more and more in high schools. You can see here we got two tight receivers to the right. We'll see if the back joins him, but again, they like that tight formation. That's where the last scramble play worked out for him.
Boone came up to bail out his quarterback and cashed in big. Liam Legg, right side, across the 45, up close to the 50-yard line. A couple of yards on first down.
So a good little first down run. Again, decent yardage. You'd like a couple more to set up your second down, but again, the big play was huge after that penalty, getting them back into a reasonable field position. They're making a change here. Looks like someone's coming on late. We'll see. Yeah, timeout's going to have to get burnt by Nova Scotia. They're trying to make a change based on personnel. So a back coming out, another receiver going in, looking at a 5-receiver package here. Again, unfortunately, it took a timeout to get that change to happen.
Coach Suffren calling a timeout to get the right pieces on the field. Invictus Gloves is the proud football glove provider for Football Canada and its national teams. If you're in need of quality football gloves with unique and customizable designs, visit InvictusGloves.com. Stick to your game with Invictus. Opening couple of minutes here, the third quarter, Nova Scotia. Big play from Ty Boone. They're collected at least one first down. It's 2nd and 7. It's getting to the point here where Manitoba can't afford to give up any more points, so they're going to need a stop.
That they will, and Nova Scotia, we talked about finding their rhythm on offense, and Nova Scotia's done that a little bit more in this game, and that's shown on the scoreboard, but also on this drive. We'll see what they have here on 2nd and 7.
Cohen with Lag to his left. Drops back. Now pulls forward. Flings it out to the far side. He's got Boone again. Big catch and run after the catch for a first down.
So Manitoba bringing a blitz from the strong side of the field. Great job by the back picking it up. You can see there number 20 in the backfield picking up the blitz, buying a little bit of time to get it to the under route. And of course with running room, is a dangerous receiver to have the ball in his hands.
Nova Scotia into Manitoba territory, driving on their first series of the second half. Cohen looking left, threads it through a few arms to Boone. His third catch of the drive. He'll get about 5.
They got a pretty dangerous receiver combo today out on that side. Again, they're working well together. They're finding their rhythm, and quarterback is delivering the ball in the right spot on time. So great job by that grouping of players, really finding that chemistry. And that's what you want to see in a tournament like this. As the week goes on, you got to see the offense develop. You can't just think when you arrive, you found where you need to be. They're doing a great job of that combo. We're seeing this bunch formation to the left of the quarterback once again, with Walton and Boone mixed in there with those 3 receivers.
Leg with the carry. Hole is filled. He'll run to the right outside and is met at about the 38, 37 yard line. Short gain, 3rd down.
So some hard fought yards, only a couple there. Again, as he finally gets up off the turf, ready to go again. And now they're waiting for the coach to make the call here. 3rd and 1.5 yards, and it looks like the offense is staying out there.
Coach Suffren not afraid to take chances. Has paid off a couple of times today. He's going to go for it on 3rd down. Carter Cohen. And a long 2. Calls the route. Snap comes quickly. He caught it. Deep ball down the post. Walton has a step on the cornerback. And it's too far. Turnover on down.
Interesting play call. Take your shot on 3rd and short. I don't mind the play call, but what I'd like to see out of the quarterback is giving your receiver a chance. Again, you've got a taller receiver against a shorter DB on the corner. Get that ball up, and if Carter gives him a chance to make a play, more often than not, he's making the play down the sideline. So just a little bit of an adjustment on that throw gives Walton the chance to reel that in. And again, I like this shot going to your star receiver. Again, here they go. Defense is on the field.
Ansu hard count might have drawn some movement. Handoff to the right side. Number 25, Braden Smith still going ahead. He'll get 1st down yards. It was a hard count from Ansu. Offside is the call against Nova Scotia.
Oh, great hard run. And again, once again, you're seeing a strong back just not willing to go down. Again, unfortunately, he's taking a knee, so we're going to get a new back in the game and a short break here as they tend to his injury. Again, he was walking off, and they told him, hey, take the knee, give us time. Then the trainer can get him off the field. So new backs in the ball game after a great 1st down run, and Manitoba is on the move.
Penalty is, of course, declined. That'll give Manitoba the ball after the run from Smith at the 52-yard line, their side of center. Official throws a towel out of the field of play, and the play is blown in. And to another hard count, trying to draw the blitz. Handoff to number 34, Babbage. He breaks the tackle. There's a flag on the play on the far side. Babbage only got a couple.
Brought down by James Wheelock.
When Monroe's that linebacker, they use him all over the field. Sometimes he's in coverage, sometimes he's at safety, and in that case, he's coming flying into the backfield, making plays. Real speedy linebacker. They like to move around. In that case, a little too fast. Often, if you got a blitzing team, they're trying to time it up to come when the ball is snapped. So when you change the snap count, it allows you to get that guy offside just a little bit.
With the penalty, offside against Nova Scotia, that will move Manitoba onto the Nova Scotia side of the ball. Ansu, quick drop, swings out far side to Corbin Kitchen. He's tackled and almost immediately might have lost the yard forward progress back to the line of scrimmage.
Son Kitchen making the first guy miss, which is his job. Unfortunately, no one got out to take care of the second guy. A nice little step inside, but again, too much pursuit by this Nova Scotia defense to give him any space. So now 2nd and 5, needing to convert this. I think going for it on 3rd down would be a no-brainer at this point in time in the game.
Could be 3rd down territory. Nova Scotia's defense has been especially good in clutch situations like these. Way offside, Manitoba almost by a mile. Smith's pulled down right away. He rolled for about 4, but it will come down.
Brady Smith with the carry on the right side.
Well, it's going to be interesting here what they decide to do, because it'd end up being like 3rd and 2, maybe 3, or do you move them back to 2nd and 10 and give them the extra down? So we'll see. I think if it is on Manitoba, we'll watch the officials to get the call. Looks like they are moving back a little bit, so I'm guessing they're going to get him on the offside, take the penalty. It's definitely a conversation happening with the Manitoba quarterback. Now they're waiting for the call from the sideline.
At least one receiver was a good 3 yards beyond the line. I'm not sure if there was other ones that were off. It is offside against Manitoba, waiting for Suffren to make this decision. He wants to talk about it. They're going to tell him pull him back. So going to move him back 5 yards. It will be 2nd and 10. We saw a similar situation like this earlier in the game, electing to take the down or the yards. This time it's the yards. See if that comes into play. All right, back on the Manitoba side of the field, 52-yard line.
As we talked about, I'm sure they're going for it on 3rd down, so they're going to see if they can get a 2nd down stop to force a longer 3rd down, maybe a punt situation.
It's one back. Ansu sends the receivers, drops back, flushed out to the right side. He's going to run with it. Takes a big hit, knocked out at about midfield. Huge hit by a pair of Nova Scotia tackles.
Well, it seems like their coverage is great. Again, the pressure eventually gets to him. Does a great job escaping out of the pocket, looking downfield, but with no receivers, he's got to take it down and run, and the pursuit of the defense just drives him out of bounds. So the call to move him back obviously works. Looking like they're calling a punt safe. I'm reading charades here from the coaches.
And you're good at this.
So I love this game down here. But it looks like he's trying to make it safe, and you're telling your players, yes, there's a few guys that are going to come through with pressure, but don't give up a fake punt. So be aware of the fake punt. Force them to punt. You've done your job as a defense to get the punt team out there now. Let's see if you can do your job here. A little bit of motion on the punt team.
Oh, all kinds of things moving around. There's already been one fake punt. This one looks like it'll be played straight. Good kick from Yipin out to the left side. Walton comes up to get it with a running start. He'll get about 15, maybe 14. Flags at the end of the play as Walton carried into the Manitoba bench, and something unsportsmanlike, I think, might have happened over there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But great job fielding it, and Ken, you can see he's down the sideline. Oh, I think he got 49 on a little bit of a late bump there. So unfortunately, probably negating some of this return here. And Nova Scotia presented with a long field. You can see their coach having the conversation with his player, taken away from that good field position. There's been a few times it's happened, so he's putting his offense in a little deeper hole, and we'll see if the offense can make up for it and put the drive together. So again, managing these little pieces of the game, managing the personnel, the players. It is a passionate game. It's a physical game, and you want to make sure that your guys are excited, are passionate, but they have a very much of a focus. So you want to focus that energy in the right direction. And again, with a guy going out of bounds like that, just hold off, keep your hands off, let your offense operate from a better position.
Owen from his own 30, hands off to Lag. Big hole for Lag up the middle. First down, Nova Scotia.
Well, great response by the offense after losing a few yards on the penalty, coming out with a big first down run, getting the first down, and moving the ball a little bit further out of their own end as they work to not only work the clock on this drive, but possibly extend their lead. They're getting to the point in the game where if they can take a nice long drive off the clock, you're just taking time away from Manitoba's offense from scoring.
Fresh set of downs for Carter Cohen. Nice snap, brings it down for Lag. Lag's going to have to make one guy miss, keeps going, runs into another. He's still up. Fight and claws to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So all that's a lot of work to lose a half yard or a yard, whatever it ends up on here. We'll see if they move it at all right back to the line like you had called. It's a lot of work, but it's actually important work because a 2nd and 10 is better than 2nd and 13 or 14. You're really putting a challenge onto your offensive line to hold up in protection on 2nd and really long. Again, still 2nd and 10. They're going to have to work to convert as the last player gets off the field. And now we got another player running on, which I'm not sure they're going to let fly here. We'll see. Get this off.
They do. No, they blow it dead right before the snap. some more personnel miscounts, miscues from the Nova Scotia bench, so they have to call a timeout. Robin, I wanted to get your take as both a former player and as a head coach on that unnecessary roughness penalty by Nova Scotia back on the far side of the field. You could see on our feed here that the coach was talking to the player. What kind of conversation happens in that moment between coach and player after something like an unnecessary roughness call?
Well, I think the first thing is you gotta emphasize with the player that all these little things that happen in a game, like a penalty at that time, can impact the overall game. And so you want to get on them a little bit for sure, but you got to do it in the right way. You got to make sure that you make it corrective. Okay, what do you need to do if you're in that position again? Go find a different guy to block. So again, you kind of want to get on him, let him know how that, it's unacceptable and he's got to be better, and I'm sure he will be better moving forward. At the same time, you want to build him up and show that you still believe in him, that he's going to be back on the field. He's going to have more opportunities to make plays and to go and make those plays. 'Cause what you don't want to do is get in his head and then take him out of the, or take him mentally out of the game so he can't go back and compete, because he's a competitor. He plays right on the edge. That's what you want from a lot of your players. And so you want to reinforce that with him, that he can't take those penalties, but work to play on that edge and bring that intensity each and every time he's on the field.
These are some of the best players in the country, folks. They're learning, they're young, and they are getting some good coaching, that's for sure. Pass through the middle. Walton makes the grab right at the first down line. I think they're going to give it to him. Logan Walton, another catch.
Well, coming out of that bunch formation again, we've talked about that. We saw that a little bit earlier in this half. Again, coming out of the bunch is a simple play, going to their go-to receiver at the yardsticks. You can see the tackle. He caught it just shy, but he's fallen forward, and the tackle took him just far enough to get the first down. So going to their go-to guy in the passing game, and the combo on that far side as they stay together over there. And they got 4 receivers out here with a fullback up in a strong position right off the tackle in the backfield.
Walton listed at 6'1", but he plays like he's 6'3", 6'4", and he made another catch. Leg with a great carry over the left side, and that'll move the sticks. New Brunswick's in business.
Well, and by New Brunswick, able to
Nova
throw.
Scotia. Sorry, Rob, I crossed you up. Sorry.
Nova Scotia, what they're doing is they're able to attack the defense through the air. So what Manitoba's done is, in order to defend that passing game, they've had to pull an extra guy out of the box. And when you pull the extra guy out of the box, what do? You come back with the run play. And so they've got a really good balance here. They're sorting something out right now. We got an injury on the far side. The sticks haven't moved yet, but they'll sort that out. But that balanced attack that we've talked about, and we've seen at times with other teams over the course of the tournament, really pays off, because now what you're doing is you're putting the defense in a quandary. Do we take away these receivers that are gashing us down the field, or do we put an extra guy in the box? And when you pull that guy out of the box like we had just seen, they're going to end up. But you see, they had four guys responsible for those 2 receivers on the high side of the field there on that last play, and they ran right at it. And so again, guys are coming from depth. So good job of mixing it up for Nova Scotia.
Good looking drive for Nova Scotia. We're marching up the field. Hand off to Leg. Get a few, maybe 4, and it's second down.
Yeah, another good run, another first down run, gaining some yards. And again, we'll see if they go back to this bunch thing. Again, this is the same combo of linemen coming out after the run game and a receiver going in. So they're likely going to a 5-receiver package, and we'll see what they do out of that 5-receiver package. Got 3 to the right, 2 to the left.
Offense moves. Cohen takes the snap, looking for Walton. And that's a 1.5 feet too far. Third down.
So the route combination you saw between, I think it was Boone and Walton out there, you had like a little bit of a rub. So Walton was waggling down. He goes vertical. Boone comes off his route, running the quick out. And then Walton ends up going either to the corner or going flat to the out. And he took it a little bit high, and the ball was thrown a little bit more to the sideline. So a little miss there, and again, you can tell that offense coming off a little bit tired. Long drive, great drive to get out of their own end. Again, forced into a punting situation, but good drive to flip the field. We'll see what Manitoba responds with here. First with a punt return, and then hopefully for them, their offense is on the field.
Ginge with the punt. Good punt, spiraling down towards the corner, and it will hop out a beauty from Fisher Ginge.
They are out right at the 5-yard. Great punt. Again, protection was good. is able to angle that right to the corner again, starting at their own 5. Manitoba really needs to get some momentum here first to get out of their end. If they don't get any yards here, they're either giving up a safety or they're going to have to punt it away from deep. But again, trying to get that rhythm back. We saw a little bit of it earlier in the game, able to move the ball, just not finish the drives. They need to find that rhythm back in the passing game, mixed with their backs in the backfield.
And Sue lines up with his heels in the goal of the end zone from his own 5. 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle, swarmed and tackled, stopped maybe a yard across the line for Smith. Second down.
This is a really tough situation to operate in as an offense. You got to be, your timing has to be perfect. Your communication has to be really good, because the defense in situations like this, you just know as a defensive player, when you go on the field and you got a chance to pin these guys into their end zone, possibly get a fumble, a safety, any of those, you are fired up. So you can see the defense reacting to that run play. We'll see what they do here on second down.
And Sue looking left. Doesn't like that throw. Tries to flutter one underneath for number 87.
Is incomplete, intended for Owen Fair.
That's Owen Fair, 89, excuse me. So it'll be third down for Manitoba right at their own goal line.
So the field position decision, and now I don't know if I should make a prediction on this one. Last time I was wrong, but I think taking the safety here is probably the call. Again, it still keeps it a 2-score game. Yeah. So 16, again, you got to get some 2-point conversions in there if you're looking to make a run back at this one, which Manitoba surely is going to keep playing hard to the end and trying to get things going. But I think punting out of your end zone this deep,
Walton standing at the 44-yard line, Robert. I would agree with you, so you don't have to feel that uncertain. They're going to kick it away. There you go. We don't. That's why we're up here. Ball rolls out of bounds at about the 41. So good field position, but the coaching staff thinks the Manitoba defense has been good, and they have, particularly in their own zone and in the red zone.
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, we found out one thing, that we're wrong when we're predicting their punt situation out of their own end zone. So it is a reason why we're up here in the booth and not on the sideline right now.
That's right.
But it did turn out. I remember it turned out for Nova Scotia. They ended up getting a missed field goal, so a punt, a missed field goal, and that's what flipped the script and allowed them to go up 14 after their long drive. We'll see what happens here with Manitoba in the same decision to punt it out, and they're scrimmaging from the 41 going in.
80 seconds to go in the third quarter. Carter Cohen with a great chance to put his team maybe out of reach. A little separation. Leg knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Second and long coming up.
Maybe I'm too conservative as a coach. I mean, always making the conservative call, but I don't know. Like I mean, on a play like that, I think some coaches love to okay, they just punted it away. We got good field, go after him.
Right.
Like, drop a bomb there. Just go to Walton, or we'll see what they do here on second and long. But again, says Nova Scotia's looking to build.
Owen. Back to pass. Pressure from the right side. Evades it. More pressure coming. He's pulled down. And a sack.
Late flag. Their late flag. I think he got him up right around the face mask or the horse collar. We'll see what it is, but I think it's going to keep Nova Scotia's offense on the field by the looks of this as they have the discussion to let us know what that penalty was. And we're going to check our replay out of here. Again, great pass move on the outside. Force him up in the middle as he runs out. You can see it right there again. When you pull a guy down in that direction, it's really hard. He kind of looked like he got the back of his shoulder, but often it happens to how do you pull the guy down? What direction does he get pulled down? And in that case, really awkward position to pull a guy down, and that's where the safety of the game comes in. And again, officials and leagues around not only our country but around the world in football are really working to make it a safe game for players to play, to, of course, keep kids involved. And it's situations and plays like that that they will call to keep it safe. And we're seeing the offense line up in that bunch left formation, 3 receivers to the left in a cluster, and we've got the 2 off to the right. And we got a little fade signal there. I think they're going to the deep ball to Walton. That's my prediction.
Snap, caught by Cohen. Deep ball to Walton. And fighting catch in air. Logan Walton. Touchdown, Nova Scotia.
Well, my charade skills are paying off. Saw the players working on it, the same signal that came in from the coach. They converted, they saw the coverage they want, and even with a bad snap, he got it off to the end zone, and Walton adding a major as this game gets a little bit out of hand here. 20 could be up to 21 points after this convert, but good adjustment by the offense. And we'll see here on the replay as they get lined up. Snaps a little high, corrals it, again steps up or lets it go. Lets his playmaker make a play. That's what you call high pointing the ball as a receiver. You can see the DB's back was turned the whole way, didn't know when the ball was arrived, and the taller receiver athletically goes up, pulls it out of the air to push this lead now to 21 for the underdogs.
So the extra point is good. Some pushing and shoving off the near side of the line. There's a flag on the play. Might be offsetting penalties as a pair of players got into a mix-up. But poor Connor Brindley had a sack, had Cohen pulled down. They call the roughing the passer play. Next play, it's in the end zone. Walton for 7. That's how fast it can turn in this league. That's a 7-point swing. Nova Scotia capitalizing on the opportunities that they're getting, and they're up by 3 scores.
Yeah, they've done a good job to execute. Again, the penalty obviously was a big part of that and gave them the opportunity. And then they went out and they kind of, they went for the jugular on this. They're like, hey, we got them in a vulnerable situation. They're kind of maybe not happy about the play call or the penalty call, and they went right after. And they actually audibled out of the original call. So it wasn't the play that was called, but that's where you start to see these teams. When communication happens at a high level, they recognize what they're seeing, and then they can change the call and go after what they seem to see a weakness or a matchup that they would really like. And in that case, it was Walton on the fade route for the touchdown.
Cohen's had an impressive game. He's changed the call at the line, like you said, reading the defense or getting some help from his coach, and he connected with Walton. So a unsportsmanlike penalty assessed on the kickoff against Manitoba will put the ball on the tee at the Manitoba 50. Ginge will knock it deep into the end zone. Brigado will grab a knee. That'll be a 1. So it's 22-0 for Nova Scotia.
Well, taking field position, and again, we've got some converted touchdowns that are going to be needed by Manitoba, but Manitoba needs to get things going as we've talked about today. Still a 0 on the scoreboard. Again, turnovers being costly, and then obviously a few untimely penalties has really cost them some points here directly in this half. So Manitoba is going to find that rhythm. We'll see if they can do it in a timely fashion, because the clock just closing out the third quarter here into the fourth is going to be working against them.
10 seconds. Clock is rolling. Last play likely for the third quarter, barring penalty. And Sue. Handoff shovel. That's Max Payne, far side, around the corner, pulled down, flag flies in late. Payne pulled down at about the 40-yard line.
I think it was probably going to be an illegal blocker holding on the far side of the play. Again, they ran a little slot reverse, so again, they fake the zone, and then they have the wide receiver coming around. He had to bubble a little deep because of the defense, and again, good pursuit out of the defense, but I think the penalty as they flip sides here may impact this. We'll see.
It is against Manitoba. And that'll end.
It won't end it because.
Oh, yeah, that's right there. Because of the penalty, it'll have to come back. They'll have to play another play.
So those Hoggies are probably going to need a timeout. That's like a 40-yard sprint one direction. Now they got a 40-yard sprint back the other. So they're going to move it back, and barring a penalty, this will be the last play, but we will see. The flag's been coming out a little bit more regular here today, so we'll see if they can get a playoff clean. Here, working at 1st and 20. We'll see what Manitoba has in their playbook.
Nansu from his own 25, 1st and 20 after the penalty. Braden Smith in the backfield for Ansu. Need a spark here, maybe get a play. Big play, nothing doing on the right side. He's swallowed up by the Nova Scotia defense. A huge sack for number 91, Noah Beaton, and that will end the third quarter.
You see here down on the Nova Scotia side, the energy is high. That play only fuels it more. The energy meter is on the rise. And they got 4 fingers in the air with symbolizing the work they're going to put in the fourth quarter. They got to finish. You have to finish football games. And as we know in Canadian football, no lead is ever safe. Right now it's 22-0 Nova Scotia, earned through special teams and an offense that's found a way to move the ball. As we start the fourth quarter, Nova Scotia is primed to get a stop here. We're looking at second and about 24. Again, after a holding call and then a sack. So Manitoba, an uphill climb here in the fourth quarter.
The Walton touchdown seeming to take some of the wind out of the sails of Manitoba on this drive anyway. Second and a ways to go. That's a $30 cab ride right there. Ansu. Smith in the backfield. Ansu looks up the middle to the right. Catch made by Brady Fay. That will be a marginal gain. And out comes the punt unit.
Walton out on the field as a return specialist as well. Again, not only a great receiver, but reliable as a returner. Looking to line up around his 40-45 yard line to field this again. Right now, you continue to preach to your players on Nova Scotia ball security is the most important thing. Don't give Manitoba anything that they do not earn. Don't give them a freebie. Be safe with the ball and execute with level heads, and that's what we're seeing from this Nova Scotia team today.
Good snap. Yipin down the left side. Spiraling kick will land out of play at around the 43-yard line of Manitoba's. And so good field position for Carter Cohen and Nova Scotia coming off a nice drive and touchdown.
Well, very good field position. An interesting decision to kick it away from the returner, but because of the angle he's kicking at, he didn't get a lot of depth. So their original line of scrimmage was only a few yards away from where now Nova Scotia, after the penalty and the sack, is going to be taking over. So great field position for Nova Scotia to potentially get some more points added to this lead.
They mark it at the 39-yard line. Cohen out there with leg, handoff, near side, big hole, leg is away. Cuts back left, now right. Manitoba team chasing him down. He's pulled down inside the 10. Huge run for leg. And Nova Scotia's on the doorstep.
Well, and Manitoba's stuck in a quandary. They've got to defend the passing game, which has been super effective here today, but now they gash them with the run. So as they continue to pull guys out of the box to find ways to stop this aerial attack, Nova Scotia gets it done on the ground. You can see the Hoggies out in front of the replay, just creating the space, untouched really until he's down inside the 20-yard line. Right there, his first major contact.
Pitch inside to Lag, smothered at the line of scrimmage. That last run gives Lag 88 yards on the day. A really nice performance by him, Logan Walton, Carter Cohen, and the rest of the Nova Scotia offense.
Well, and it's interesting because so often teams will set up the pass with a solid run game. We're kind of seeing a little bit of a balance, but that aerial attack has really opened up holes inside, and Manitoba's just getting tired. Their defense has been on the field for a lot today, and it's, again, of course, warming up here in Edmonton, and here we go, second and about 10.
Cohen looks to the right. Pump fake, decides to rush up the middle, pulled down at around the 3-yard line. He was nearly home free. Third down, Nova Scotia.
Looks like the offense for now is staying on the field, going to bring in some heavies. In come the heavies, a heavy set to see if they can push this one into the end zone. We'll see. The quarterback did a good job of making his coach make a decision here by taking that in close enough. He's looking to punch this in, add to the lead.
Brindley not afraid to call his own number. He could take off. He's tough to pull down. Third down from the 3-yard line. Third and goal. This could put this one out of reach for good. Cohen moves some personnel around. Bad snap, rolls up, Lag ripped down Manitoba into the backfield in a hot second. And that will be that for that drive. Nothing doing for Nova Scotia.
Well, again, just leaving points on a bad snap. Again, with a good snap, could be a different result, but we've seen that actually a couple of times. So I don't know what's going on there with the center quarterback exchange, but on the touchdown, which turned out well for Nova Scotia, the ball came early, got tipped up in the air. You know, Carter made a great play to get the ball off to score the touchdown in that case. Again, just dribbled back, timing's thrown off, turning the ball over. Nova Scotia's defense out on the field, ready to make another stop.
It's a warm day too, Rob. Maybe the center's getting a little sweaty. That happens to those big ones. And that'll do it for Nova Scotia on offense. So Cole Hansu back out for Manitoba. Handoff. Right side, Smith pulled down after a gain of 2, second down.
So lots of time left on the clock, but it is ticking away, and Manitoba has to be efficient if they want to get some points on the board here before this one wraps up.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard gain by Smith on first down. And Sue dries his hands on his towel, points to where he wants the running back to go. Smith out to the left side. Ansu, pressure, pushes him out of the pocket, throws on the run. Nice catch, shakes off a tackle, and is pulled down out around the 30. That was Rogan Vergata on the catch.
I like to see how he's directing traffic in the backfield. He's making sure his back goes to the right spot. He sees what he wants to see. He's able to roll out and make a completion after his receiver scrambles after his original route is run. So quickly operating out of the offense, Manitoba tries to conserve as much time as they can, see what they can get going here.
Clock rolling, 7:22 remaining in the game, down 22, Ansu. That one didn't come out of his hand clean. I'm not sure if it was tipped or not. And that's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now.
After he released that, he looked like he was wanting his receiver to run a different route. So whether it was just a miscommunication or a misread, but something didn't happen the way the quarterback expected and had to get rid of that to an empty space of grass or turf, I guess. It's turf and rubber pellets, but we'll call it grass for today. It looks like nice grass.
Close enough. 7 to go in the game. From the 28. Ansu drops back, pressure from the right side, from the left side, forces him out to the right, dumps it off again to Vergata. Late hit, that'll draw a flag, so tack on a few more to that play by Vergata.
It definitely was a violent piece of contact, but I think where the contact is initiated, because again, if you initiate contact on the head of a receiver or a running back, that's going to draw a flag, and I think that's maybe what happened. And you see the officials pulling out the card. We'll get the call here.
It
is UR unnecessary roughness.
So they track URs. I think if you get 2 of those in a game, you may get tossed. So that's why they write those down. They don't write every penalty down. That's our job, or our crew up here in the press box, keeping stats and track of all those things. But in that case, they'll keep track of those in case we get too many of them.
So ball on the Manitoba 49. With the penalty, another first down. Ansu, pocket collapse. He'll scramble out to the right side, tucks the ball and runs. A little bit of open field. He gets the first down and more, and inside Nova Scotia territory.
So again, looking to his left side, doesn't like what he sees, and the pocket collapses, so he takes off, and both receivers on this side were flooding to the other side of the field, so that's why no defenders were out here. So he sets up looking, doesn't like it, and again, Nova Scotia loses the edge. You can see 99 and Chase as he's coming, but again, nobody's out here to contain that quarterback. So that's why that backside contain, it's really important to be disciplined to eliminate that rush, especially when no defenders are left back there.
6:20 to go. And the Nova Scotia 47, quick toss near side. Fay brings it in securely. A couple of more up to the 38. Second down.
So a new look on their offense. They had quads to the left, meaning 4 receivers lined up to the wide side of the field on the left. And they want to get the isolation here on the backside and just a quick hitting play to the backside. Let them use athleticism to gain the yard. So a gain of 8 yards on the quick wide receiver screen down here on the short side of the field. We'll see if Manitoba can get things going.
Good shot maybe now here to take one down the field. 2nd and short, needing points quickly as time is becoming Manitoba's worst enemy. And off instead to Smith. And he'll get a first down, fresh set of downs. Clock continues to roll here at Foote Field. 5:30 remaining.
You know, and I've seen Manitoba do a fair bit of intermediate and short routes and good timing stuff. We haven't seen them, like you said, gone down field a whole lot. So in a situation where it's like, hey, maybe this is a shot time, who is your guy? Do you have a guy like Nova Scotia does in Walton that they say, here's our shot guy. We're taking a shot, and this is where we're going. So we'll see what they can do here on first down to keep this drive going.
Snap taken. Nobody there on the handoff. Fluttering pass thrown into Fay underneath. That's knocked down by Lucas Lataleep. 2nd down.
Little miscommunication in the backfield. You can see here as he doesn't find his back, he's handing it to, so pulls it and throws it to the crosser. But again, a little bit behind him. Just again, hard running one direction, stopping and catching that ball low again off the turf into the hands of someone for Nova Scotia. Now they're going to face 2nd and 10. We'll see what they have here. I'm sure they're going if they don't get it. So look for something in the intermediate.
4 receivers left. He's looking left. Ansu is. Passes out to Vergata. Knocked out in the air. Flag comes in. And that's going to be pass interference against Sam Lecker-Evans, the DB, on the coverage.
Yeah, a little too early on contact. Get a shot at that wide field, like sit-down route again. He just hit him too early before the ball arrived, and on contact, something happened. Whether he got winded or something, we'll see. He's gone down after that contact, but again, just a little bit too early. When that ball arrives, you got to time that up, and with his back to the ball, he doesn't know when it's arriving, so you're kind of guessing, and he guessed and hit him a little bit too early.
That pass interference penalty will put the ball at the Nova Scotia 19 and a first down for Ansu.
Hey, are you good?
Lecker-Evans is still down over there being tended to, and so we'll have an injury timeout on the field. Gives us a chance to acknowledge GameStrat. GameStrat is a sports software company that provides coaches with the ability to have instant replay during the game on the sidelines, bench, or up in the press box. Coaches are able to make real-time adjustments with GameStrat, improving their overall team performance. GameStrat has quickly become the gold standard when it comes to sideline replay solutions for coaches, especially for football programs across North America. GameStrat prides itself on the quality of their products and customer service. Their system has the fastest video transfer times in the industry while also being extremely reliable and easy to use. Visit GameStrat.com and see for yourself.
Lecker-Evans is the DB who was down. He's up and walking off on his own, so that's a good sign. And Nova Scotia bringing in some fresh legs on the defensive line to keep those guys energized. And in a game that's 22-0, good opportunity to get some of those young guys in there to get them a little bit of more experience. You never know when you have to dip into those backups, and that those guys are cycling through there, keeping them fresh. We've got some new bodies in there after that injury break.
So first down after the penalty in the red zone for Manitoba. They need some points. Tough throw. It looked like it didn't come out clean out of the hand of Ansu, and it never got to the intended receiver, which is Bowman Ann.
Yeah, first hands that hit was Nova Scotia. So again, another potential interception almost thrown there. We'll see what they can do here on second down with quads receivers to the right-hand side and isolation on the back.
Ansu swings it out to the left. Fay hit right after the catch, but he shakes off the tackle, gets out of bounds around the 10. Third down coming up.
So what they did on that play is they actually brought the running back to the side of the single receiver, but what that also did is brought the defender who kind of got the green light to go. So you can see the receiver in behind the three guys. Again, tough read, but again, if he sees that guy open, it's a touchdown. Instead, he comes down to the screen, ends up getting tackled. So they're facing third down here and 3 to go.
3rd and 3 from the Nova Scotia 12. Manitoba in a must-score situation to keep their chances alive. Flag. Pass out to the near side. Vergata up to get it down across the first down marker. It will be a first down if the play stands. And it's against Manitoba.
That's going to be a tough one again. Great job moving the ball down in score zone, really close. The well-delivered ball to the outside of the field. Good hands catch again. We talked about that, but unfortunately this moves them back. They're going to have to do it again to see if they can convert and get some points or a first down.
Offside against Manitoba is the call, so it will now be 3rd and 8 from the 17.
You know, this drive, although it's been productive for Manitoba, Nova Scotia is saying keep everything in front of us. Again, our best friend right now, our extra player on the field, is the clock that is running. And in this situation, that clock continues to tick away as Manitoba tries to get their first points.
Ansu out to the left to Fay. Fay's met at the catch. That won't be enough, and it will be a turnover on downs.
So the penalty proving costly once again, taking what would be a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line to a defensive stand in the red zone. And the Nova Scotia offense is coming back on the field, and we may have a new quarterback at the helm to wrap this one up. We get some of those younger players on the field as Nova Scotia feels the victory is secured, and they're going to get some other guys some reps. And again, you got to remember, when you put backup in on this team, you are still putting in high-quality players. Like on your high school team, when you are in a blowout game one way or the other, you get those young guys reps that are going to be the future. They're all stars that are on these provincial teams right now, so it's not really much of a step down. We've got some other guys getting some reps here at the end of this one.
Tomlin in at quarterback. He'll hand off to Smith. Sorry, number 28, that's Stanhope, and he'll get a few. That'll take us to the 3-minute warning.
I'll get a chance to call some new names with some new backs in there, new quarterbacks, and getting some reps. So good little run, getting he's getting close. He'll be close to a first down, but not quite there. So we'll see, 2nd and 2 it looks like. And we'll see if Nova Scotia can run this one out. We saw New Brunswick earlier get the ball late in the game and just run the clock right out with a nice drive. We'll see if Nova Scotia can do the same thing.
Tomlin, 2nd and short into the game for Carter Cohn, who had an impressive day. Oh, snap comes unexpected. Tomlin's going to have to jump on it. He runs out to the far side, rolls down for a big loss. And that will bring up 3rd down and long.
So not what you want from the new guys in there, but again, clock was ticking down. They were trying to communicate to change the play, so it just came firing back pretty hot.
All right, Rob. 3rd chance to charm here.
They're going to punt this away. They're punting this away. They're not going to give up that goose egg with a safety. We'll see. We'll see if I can get 1 for 3 today.
Stick around, folks. Semi-final action coming up later this afternoon. 4 o'clock local time start. Ontario is in the first one. They're taking on Saskatchewan. That's the number 4 versus 1 seed. And then tonight at 7 Mountain Time, it's the host Alberta against Quebec. That's semi-final action on Sport Canada TV, Football Canada Cup here. And you can catch all the games loaded up onto the Football Canada YouTube page to watch at your convenience, and just verify if Rob is indeed going to be 0 for 3 on his safety predictions.
We're going to see. I'm going to have a chat with a Nova Scotia coach if he decides to take a safety here, though, because he definitely should punt this away. Maybe angle it to the sideline, but punt it away.
Play is whistled in.
Oh, my goodness. 0 for 3. 0 for 3. You're going to fire me after this. Fire me after this. I'm going to have to go chat with Rob down there on the sideline afterwards. Let me know what your strategy is. If I call another one of your games, I can be better at predicting, because I'm 0 for 3 right now. I'd like to try to up that. So,
Rob, explain the psychology on the safety concession. So safety is conceded. That does wreck the shutout, which you thought maybe would be. Yeah, I thought. Maybe.
You know, maybe I'm going to pull a defensive coach into that same conversation, see how he feels
That's
about
right.
the safety at the end of the game.
Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, maybe think differently about that. So safety conceded 22-2. Manitoba gets the ball back on their own 35-yard line. 2:21 remaining in the game.
Hey, let's go, defense.
Nova Scotia poised to play for 5th place against the underdog New Brunswick. Underdog specials today on the consolation side of things. New Brunswick, the 8th seed. Nova Scotia, the 7th seed. Swung out to Brady Fay on the near side. He breaks 2 tackles, gets up to the 50-yard line. First down, Manitoba.
Yeah, it has been an underdog special, as you said, and those 2 teams will clash. I think that'll be maybe it's time now we can talk about that. But 2 maritime provinces going to battle it out in a game, probably a good rivalry. Some of these players may even know each other. We'll see. But again, the football world seems to be small across the country, so you kind of know guys from different provinces. So we'll see how that matchup goes, depending on the outcome of this one. Again, quarterback looking to get the ball downfield, looking for a deep pass, just could not find a guy open or willing to pull the trigger, so takes off and runs, gets a few. Looking to keep this drive alive. And of course, Nova Scotia's defense, although the shutout is gone because of the safety concession, but we'll see if Manitoba can get a major. I'm sure they're still working hard. They got a game left. They got to continue to work on rhythm and timing and meshing of running back exchanges. So we'll see these guys continue to go with their 5 receiver set, 4 to the field, 1 ISO down here on the boundary.
It was Noah Beaton on the tackle, too, padding his stats for maybe a Defensive Player of the Game nomination afterwards. That pass to Fay is at his feet, bounces down into the Nova Scotia zone. Third down, and 7.
So coming back to that single receiver side on a quick slant, ball just in the turf, just not quite delivered to the right spot or the right mesh, and that's that receiver quarterback combo. You want to continue to build that chemistry with your receivers, so you know how they move, you know when they break, and then the angles they're going to break at. So we'll see. We got a 32 set here for their 3rd down play.
All kinds of motion. Rolls out left, hard toss, went off the hands of number 34. Jack Babbage, incomplete, turnover on downs, 1:55 left to go in the game. Nova Scotia's ball.
Nice little setup in the pocket and good delivery, and Nova Scotia's just flying around. They're just making plays, and again, you got to secure that catch regardless of where you are at in the field. But a lot of excitement coming from this Nova Scotia defense, and they are playing to the final whistle. We'll see what they can do back on offense.
1 o'clock local time, Saturday afternoon, 5th place, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. That's 4 o'clock out in the Maritimes. Good pass swung out near side. Runs through a few tackles, spinning down across the Manitoba 45 is Jason LeBlanc. Big play for him. Nice toss by Tomlin. And Nova Scotia is moving the ball again here late.
As you can see, the bench there, Nova Scotia, everybody's excited. The guys who started the game and got the job done earlier, excited for the other guys getting in the game, getting the job done now. So Nova Scotia not quite in celebration mode yet. They want to finish this one out clean, but still moving the ball, and these guys are getting their reps in. We talked about all the university coaches here scouting out all these high school players, so wanting to impress right to the last whistle.
Plays blown dead as there was some movement right at the line.
Manitoba looking to bring some pressure there, and again getting caught with the snap count. So good job on Nova Scotia. Get themselves free 5 yards, and still a first down as they continue to creep towards the Manitoba end zone.
1:23 remaining in the second of 2 consolation side games. As mentioned, Nova Scotia will play New Brunswick Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, 10 a.m., BC will play Manitoba for 7th. Tomlin hands to number 28, Stanhope. He'll get a few. Second down and short.
Yeah, working the clock out. We got a late flag. I don't know if that was something words were exchanged, but we got a late well after the play ended and guys were back to the huddle. So looks like the quick direction was pointed at Manitoba. So I think they're going 15, up 15. So something clearly was said. Yeah, away they go. And so moving the ball up, and we'll see what Nova Scotia does to finish this one out. Their offense on the field.
The officials march the ball up to the Manitoba 28-yard line. Sorry, 23? Yeah, sorry, 23-yard line. 1:12 to go. Landon Tomlin in for Carter Cohen. Tomlin out of Auburn High School in Porters Lake. 6 foot, 160. It's always nice to punch one in late. In cleanup time. No, empty backfield. Tomlin fakes the toss. He's hit hard in the backfield and brought down for a sack by Maxwell Greenmount.
Well, this is unfortunate again. Snaps coming pretty hot back there, and you can see the timing just isn't the same. He quickly bobbled it, but again, the receiver was there a little bit early. So that's the timing that we've been talking about over the course of these games that these players have to get used to in very short order because they're playing with guys they usually don't play with. So we'll see what they have here on 2nd and pretty long.
2nd and 16, in fact. Tomlin keeps, tosses out into an empty area. Too far for number 33, Jaden McLean. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
I like the play action call. Again, just using that run game to set things up. And again, this late in the game, you're anticipating a little bit more run, but he did a good job of getting out just with the pressure coming and him forced to continue to run. Just couldn't get the ball deep enough on the corner out there. Again, guy was beat on the corner, just not enough arm strength there on the rollout to get it there. So we'll look at a field goal here. Saw plenty in the first matchup we called today. So let's take a look, see if we can get a field goal lined up. The ball's on the 29, the tee's down on the 36, and we got a timeout. All that excitement around this field goal unit, and they're going to call a timeout because they're missing one guy. So out comes the extra guy, ready to, I think he's the holder, so a somewhat critical guy on the field goal team.
Yeah, you got that right. Holds the ball in place.
Well, you could drop kick it from there. You know, you got a rugby kicker.
That's probably the only thing we haven't seen in this game. Is a drop kick, converted field goal.
Converted field goal, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Should I talk to Rob about that after the game too and say, hey, you got this in
I know you and I are on the same length on safeties, Rob, but high snap brought down, kick is up. Into the wind even, into the breeze. It's
That's
good.
A leg, it's good.
Hinge from 36 makes it 25-2.
Special teams coach excited and animated with his kicker making the long field goal to extend their lead a little bit. 25-2 as mentioned with 39 seconds left. And we got Manitoba's offense for probably the last look today. See if they can do something here with the remaining 39 seconds.
From their own 35-yard line.
Manitoba lost 32-12 to Quebec. And they're looking at a 3-score loss here. Maybe they like to get one. Make it look a little different. Ansu flushed out of the pocket, brought down by a pair of Nova Scotia linemen. And that'll be second down. 34 seconds to go.
You know, you can see here they're coming with a little fake hit, so you give them a little shoulders, tries to go deep, but again, nowhere to throw the ball, and again, coverage was great down the field. So looking at that little short screen with a guy in behind him, but again, coverage was tight by Nova Scotia, being really disciplined at this point in time in the game. And again, you're typically going to see a little softer coverage, so they're not going to jump the underneath stuff quite so quickly. Clock's on its way as they go to second down.
Pass it to the left of Fay, caught. He'll be short of the first down. Third and 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think he's out of bounds as well, so it's going to, the clock will stop, so they'll get the 3rd down play. And then I think we're likely looking at either being the last play or potentially one more play with only 11 seconds left, barring penalty, which we've seen a few of today.
It does look like it could be the last. Ansu out to Fay again. He's tackled. Ball squirts out. Nova Scotia picks it up, rolls over on it, and that will do it for this one. 25-2 at the final gun. Nova Scotia will play for 5th, Manitoba for 7th on Saturday.
You know, the game ended on a play that really sums up Manitoba's opportunities, squandered away by turnovers. Again, some fumbles. We've seen some interceptions. You know, just unfortunate for Manitoba. Weren't at the highest level of execution that they could be at. And of course, not to take anything away from the performance showed by Nova Scotia. Their offense was clicking. They got things going. They had a number of receivers and backs in the mix. And their defense, just outstanding performance from start to finish, only conceding the 2 points that their punt team gave up on the safety.
Well, you know, all afternoon, Manitoba didn't really have an answer defensively in the secondary for Logan Walton. Just no size matchup, and he was able to exploit that all game long.
They were, and then when they started to overload with personnel, they just attacked the box. And so, you know, Nova Scotia did a great job of executing what likely was part of their game plan, you know, working both as they see the game play on. So really great job by Nova Scotia to come out here and execute at the level they did for their second game, earning them the shot at that 5-6 ranking at the end of this tournament. So great job by those guys.
Yeah, impressive showing for the Maritime Provinces today at Foote Field. Semi-final action coming up at the Football Canada Cup 2023 right here at Foote Field. We have Ontario and Saskatchewan up next. That's the 1-4 matchup, and then later tonight, that'll be going in about 43 minutes, but later tonight, Alberta takes on Quebec at 7 o'clock local, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Player of the game announcements hour coming up. Who did you like, Rob?
Well, you know, we had a number of guys, obviously, on the Nova Scotia side. I mean, quarterbacks playing well, operating the offense, did a great job getting the ball downfield. Walton obviously making some plays. We've seen that. As the defense plays out, we had a number of guys making plays all game long. I like Monroe, played really well at linebacker. They really used him very well in different positions. Again, maybe taking I think he took a couple penalties. But again, when you talk about players playing on an edge, he's one of those guys that is just all over in your defense. So from that standpoint, I think those two guys from Nova Scotia. On Manitoba, they had a mix of guys on offense. Probably one of the backs is likely who I would go with there. And the box players, I think the defensive line did get into the backfield and some linebackers playing. So we'll see what the other guys think.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't Walton, though. Carter Cohen had a great game. Made some calls with confidence, stood in there, scrambled, made plays with his feet. And so I like that choice, too. We'll see. Lots of options on the Nova Scotia side for sure.
The winner of the most valuable defensive player of the game award for Manitoba, number 43, Jesse Denica.
Jesse Denica gets the nod on defense for the black and gold. He had a good game, making a couple of nice tackles out in the open field.
Well, solid linebacker. You need a couple of those guys in the middle of your defense helping out, filling the box, shedding blocks. Great job today.
And the winner of the most valuable offensive player of the game for Manitoba, number 19, Brady Fay.
Brady Fay quickly became Cole Ansu's favorite target, especially out on the left flat. Made a number of catches and was a target all game long, and he gets offensive player of the game for Manitoba. Tall receiver, Brady Fay. 6 foot, 190 out of Vincent Massey in Winnipeg. Most of these players are actually from Winnipeg. A couple from Thunder Bay, as they pull from Northern Ontario as part of that cashman for the team.
Number 22, Sam Lecker-Evans.
Lecker-Evans gets the nod on defense. Made some nice plays in coverage.
Yeah, I think that's fitting for the job the secondary did against the Manitoba passing attack. I think Manitoba can go to the air. The secondary did a great job, forced quarterback to pull the ball down a number of times, just not allowing him to throw the ball downfield. And that's not only him, but the whole secondary did a great job, and the linebackers mixed into that coverage as well.
Nova Scotia, number 8, Owen Carter.
It is the quarterback, indeed. Rob called it. Carter Cohen, big game for him. He's had a couple of nice games, actually, even the one in the loss on Sunday, and he gets Offensive Player of the Game honors.
Yeah, he did a great job all day, obviously, in a number of areas, executing the offense, throwing the ball on point, but he also bought himself some time to allow that to happen.
You betcha. So that'll wrap up the consolation side of things. Semi-final afternoon straight ahead here on Sports Canada TV. On behalf of the crew and Rob Harrod, I am TJ Phillips. Thank you for tuning in to Nova Scotia winning 25-2. Good afternoon from Foote Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did have a pair of glasses turned in at halftime. If you're missing a pair of glasses, you can come up to the PA booth and collect them.